He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Chiefs and the Chargers on Monday night.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. More from L.A. in a moment. Throwing right away, here's Locke. Got an open man, it's Josh Palmer. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins to the 27-yard line. This defense for the Chiefs, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
7 yards there and a first down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
At the Chiefs' 16-yard line.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. In motion, the tight end. Throwing now is Locke. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
He'll go right back to Andrews. Only a yard of the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They look to throw. It's Locke. And this will be incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Locke now on 3rd and goal. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Now Mahomes. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And when those add up into big mistakes add up into points against you.
Mahomes going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
That ball caught. It's Rice. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now here's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chargers offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he's had a knack for finding the end zone all season long. His numbers reflect that. Here we are in the month of December, and he sits atop the NFL leaderboard in terms of rushing touchdowns. Block now to throw. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Play action. Now it's Locke. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Locke. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. They will start this drive with Ford. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 69 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henley. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. Locke going to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get about 4 there as as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Locke. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great play there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chiefs offense set to go. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Up the middle they go. It's Little. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And the Chargers first down.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now
is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. To throw, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. To throw it is Locke. A short throw caught by Andrews. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the Chargers, 1st down.
On play action, Locke. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
28-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
KC's offense ready to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Throwing now is Locke. Slant pass complete to Akers. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Locke to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a gain of 6, and that will be the final play of this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. Baker Mayfield, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go, check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Ken Walker, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Bryce Young leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now here's Mahomes. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 35. A good pickup there, a 22.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes steps away to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. This is caught. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They'll look to throw here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Touchdown! Rashee Rice from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Mahomes now to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On the ground, it's Ford. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And not nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Chargers getting set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Off the option, here's Akers. Oh, nice move. And they get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Locke going to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he will find his man on the outside. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. That one caught by Rice. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And space tough to come by there, as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. They run with Ford, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The offense on third down tonight, just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Block now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Kirkpatrick. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Locke. Over the middle, complete. It's Davis. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Kirkpatrick. And he gets it down to the 48, and enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. The give now to Abanikanda. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now to the air, Locke. He finds his man, complete. That's Russell. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Up the middle they go. Kirkpatrick, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Kirkpatrick. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Chargers have taken a 4th quarter lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. The Locke going to try and throw for him. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. He finds his man complete. It's Rice. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Worthy. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Here's second down and 3. Now Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 23. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Mahomes will throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion. So I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Here's Mahomes. Over the middle. That's caught by Rice. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Mahomes toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. This is 3rd and goal. Mahomes. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as it kicks away here. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's third down. Here's Locke. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So 4 quarters couldn't decide it, and it'll be the Chiefs who get the football first in this overtime session. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Now here's Mahomes. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Mahomes going to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Couldn't afford the one to get to him and drop it. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That is caught. He's got room to roam. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the Chiefs, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.